Right, this is an additional bit to episode 3. I often listen back to the black screen episodes. Well, not often, I do. Um, Often, there's only 3 episodes. Yeah, I've listened to them all. And I noticed that in episode 3, I started talking about the Golden Gate jumpers. I didn't actually finish that. I got sidetracked, and I wanted to touch on that because it was an important bit of information that I just started on and then went off on a tangent elsewhere. Didn't get to it. So we're actually talking about the survivors, the people that jumped and actually lived. Um, yeah, and a lot of people die on impact. A lot of people drown when they hit the water. The water's icy at times and has strong currents. Yeah, very dangerous place to land, even if you're just jumping out of a boat into the water. Let alone from a bridge that's way up high. So yeah, they've got people looking out for them in boats. They've got people on different spots on the land looking. They're looking on cameras. They're looking with binoculars out windows and things. And yeah, so they're pretty good at catching them and stopping them, and if not, rescuing them. Um, so yeah, but yeah, what this documentary was that I was talking about in episode 3 was the survivors. So this documentary was about the stories of the survivors, and I think it was something like 17 survivors that they managed to gather together for this documentary, and every single one of them had the same story. Um, they were asked, obviously, you jumped, you survived, right? And you're still here today. So being still here today means that you not only survived, but you decided that it wasn't a good idea, and you didn't go jump again, or you didn't go try something else to finish things. So these people had all decided that life was somehow worth living now, after they've survived this jump. Now here's the thing. So you get up on the bridge, right? You're all sad. You've had enough. Your life's over. You got nothing to live for. This is it. And you go to jump off the edge, right? You push off and you let go, and now you're free falling. Well, people say the moment they let go of that bridge, it's instant regret. It's like the first thought that comes into their head is, "Oh no, what have I done? Or what am I doing?" Right? So you're all serious until you let go of the edge. You're totally committed, and once you do commit and you jump, you let go. That's when you realise you've made a mistake. So for a lot of people, because it's only a percentage that survive that impact or the drowning, yeah, some people end up in a coma. So yeah, it's pretty full on. To find out that every single one of those people that we interviewed for this documentary all had that same feeling. These are survivors. That it could have been. It's like random, really. They're random people out of a collective of people that jumped. Right. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of them die from the impact or drowning. Because here's another thing: you land in the water and you break your legs, you snap your back, there's horrific injuries. Your knees hit your face and knock your teeth out. You can actually knock yourself out with your knees and body parts, and just the impact of the water with your head. You can knock yourself out. You can snap your neck, snap your back. So it's very easy on impact to go bang, lights out, and now because you're unconscious, you're in the water drowning. Can't save yourself. So yeah, I found it very interesting that every single one of these people let go of the edge and decided they didn't want to do it. Isn't that fascinating that every single one of those people let go of the edge and decided this was a bad idea? Now, that's got to make you think. If every single, it wasn't like, I'm pretty sure it was 17 people in this documentary, but it wasn't like 16 out of 17 or 15 out of 17 or, 11 out of 17, like more than half or something, or up in the 90 something percent. But yeah, it was all of them. Every single one of those people who were committed, who'd had enough and decided this is it, and actually let go of the edge of the bridge and started to free fall for the water, heading for their doom. Their demise is now just moments away. The moment they all let go of the bridge, they're like, oh no, what have I done? What am I doing? This isn't what I want. I wish I could go back. Why did I do that? All this sort of thing, So, it's really it was a real eye opener for me. I decided that if every single one of those people have regret, what's to stop me in my moment where I'm really sad from going through with something, and then the moment I'm dying and realise, like, so I've sliced my wrists or taken some pills or something, you know what I mean? So the moment you're bleeding out and you're starting to fade into unconsciousness, or the moment that the whatever pills you've popped overcoming your system, and you realise that you probably feel not just feeling really sick, but you're feeling really weak and really tired, and this is your body starting to be shut down by the whatever medication you happen to have taken to overdose. Yeah, imagine having regret at that moment, but dying anyway. Yeah. You can say it's a horrible thing to live with, but you don't have to if you've just killed yourself. But yeah, I just thought I had to touch on that, guys, because that was something I left out of that. I was heading there and I didn't finish it. How important it is that people actually find that it's a bad idea. Not random amounts, not like all of them. And yeah, it's only a small case study when you look at 17 people in a documentary, but they all did the same thing and they all had the same regret. So I just found that fascinating, and I really think that's something to think about. I believe that just about everyone out there that decides to do this has regret. There'd be exceptions. End of life as terminal patients, in a world of pain, want to be free of this pain finally, nothing left to live for. I've been in chronic pain for years and years and it's just getting worse. I just want it to stop. I don't want to live anymore. I've had enough. Let me out of this nightmare. Those people that do like the assisted suicide or euthanasia or whatever, that's a totally different story. That someone that gets sad or feels lonely or feels unloved, or their girlfriend leaves them, or they lose their job, or their dog dies, or something goes wrong in their life where things aren't great in the first place, or they're not feeling great in the first place, and now all of a sudden this thing is the catalyst that pushes them over the edge, and now they decide to take steps, So it's just fascinating that could be a big mistake for not just one, not just some, but it seems like everyone. Right? Please think about that, guys, because it's something that I like to tell people whenever I find someone, if I encounter someone that starts talking about suicide, I always bring that up. It's a really good point to mention, that you might decide, it might be in your brain right now that you've had enough and you're going to kill yourself. And a lot of people are only saying it for attention. They've got no intention to do it, right? And as long as you're giving them the attention, they won't do it. But, but some people you can't read properly, and you give them attention and you think they're all right and you go leave them alone, and next morning you find out they're dead. You know what I mean? So It's really tricky. But yeah, to be able to arm people with tools like this to say it's a thing that people regret. It's a mistake, right? And here's the thing. Here's one of the biggest lessons I've learned about suicide, because I have, as I mentioned in episode 3, um, the, that I have done a lot of study on it. You know, the morbid curiosity was a bit obsessive, a bit too high. But I managed to learn some good things, and those good things probably will not only just keep me alive, but hopefully keep others alive. So, for example, if you hang on a sec. Sorry, guys, I just had to let my dog out to go to the toilet or have a drink, and I was waiting for her to come back in, and it's been a few minutes and she hasn't, so I thought I'd just continue talking, keep an eye out for her. So I just wanted to get to this thing. The main lesson, the main thing that I've come away with all my research is delay. All right, just that one word, delay. If you can delay someone from taking their life by talking to them, by saying the right thing, if you can get them to agree, okay, let's not do this until the morning. All right, let's think about it all night long, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, or like lunchtime tomorrow, let's reevaluate lunchtime tomorrow. All right, if you really want to kill yourself by lunchtime tomorrow, we'll talk about it further. All right, and it sounds then like you're willing to even help them if they're really serious. You know, like say you're talking to them 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, and you say, okay, look, if you're really serious about this, can you just do me one thing? Can you promise me to hang around till 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock tomorrow, lunchtime tomorrow? Right? And you get them to promise to do that. Just get them to give you their word, you know. Tell them how important that promise is to you, and that, you know, it's serious. That, you know, like don't promise me this and then just when I walk out the door you do something. You know, so you want them to agree, and then make sure you meet them before that time and approach them and say, do you feel as bad now as you did last night? If they say yes, just as bad, or if they say yes, worse, so okay, well, we need to talk more. And you can move it on. You can find a way. So, you know, well, today, let's talk, but let's do it down at the park, or let's go to the beach, or let's go down to the river, or let's, you know what I mean? Like, find something. Depends on the person. You know, some people might be into tattoos, and you might be like, well, let's go get a tattoo. Yeah, something. Just find some way to entertain that person, to keep that person going. Delay, all right? Remember that word, delay. That, you know, these tools are important to have, because if you become that depressed that you decide that your life isn't worth living anymore, wouldn't it be a good tool to have, to go, okay, all right, I am serious about this, but I'm gonna think back to what Dave said, and he said that one word, delay, right? So I'm gonna put this off till this time tomorrow night. And so you go to sleep and you think about it. You wake up in the morning, you think about it, and well, you think about it, you go to sleep. You wake up in the morning, think about it more, and yeah, and I can almost promise that 9 times out of 10, things are better. Things aren't as bad the next day, once you've had time to calm down, once you have time to process the situation. The bad thing that happened is now an extra day old. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes a big difference, and it can be a lifesaver. Delay. All right, please try and do your best to get anyone you can that's like this. If you're really worried about them, please get them help. You know, like, don't be afraid. Just say, look, I don't want to be calling mental health on you. You know, but if the cops have to come here, or if the people have to come in and grab you for your own protection, well, that's how it's got to be, right? I'd rather you be restrained, locked up for the night, than never hear anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that is a good option, right? Some people do need to be protected from themselves, and because it's only a moment, it usually is different the next day, right? So please, guys, if you can just remember that one word, delay, right? When it comes to someone had enough, someone's going, it's time to opt out. I've had enough. This is it, right? Or if it's you yourself that's feeling that way, remember, delay. Remember the story I said about the Golden Gate jumpers as well, the survivors, those 17 people, every single one of them they weren't, I don't think they were all interviewed, only some of them were interviewed, but I think there was 17 that he managed to talk to, and, not all of them agreed to go on camera or anyway, so yeah, every single one of them that he managed to contact and ask the question, what was the thought? What happened as you were jumping or as you let go of the edge? Why are you now still alive? Just because you survived then, why didn't you jump again? Or why didn't you find another way to do it better after you'd failed this attempt? Because it is a failure, right? If you live a suicide attempt, if you live through that, you failed. And that's another thing that's always kept me, sorry to laugh, but it's funny, right? It's another thing that's always kept me from doing something drastic. I'm such a screw up. What if I screw that up too? It's just another thing for me to fail in life at, right? Can't even do that properly. So yeah, I would think that, if you can find tools for people that are at risk, or you're worried about, or if you're worried about yourself, or you think that you yourself are at risk, find a way, and it could be something like reaching out to people, tell them, I scare myself, right? I'm worried. I need someone to check in on me in an hour. I need someone to check in on and say, how you feeling? You calm down at all or whatever, you know what I mean? I need someone to check on me in 2 hours. I need someone to check on me in the first thing in the morning. So when I wake up the first thing in the morning, as I'm waking up, it's because you've rung me, not because I've woken up with my thoughts, because my thoughts are going to be harmful and risky and scary. I want someone to be there, and I wake up before I have a chance to entertain my thoughts at all. I have a familiar voice on the other end of the line saying, hey, I've been thinking about you. You follow me? So find a way to help people. Find a way to help yourself, because it's a thing that you can't live to regret it if you succeed, right? You cannot live to regret a successful suicide. It's as simple as that. But in reality, most people, if they did live, decide that, hey, that actually wasn't the right thing to do. Very, very low percentage of people that attempt suicide fail, and straight away, as soon as they're able to, go and do it again, right? They're determined, right? Those people are determined. There's not a lot you can do for those people other than you've got to be ready for them and stop them when it happens any way you can. You tackle them, you restrain them, you call the police, you call a friend, call backup, do whatever you've got to do. Call a stranger that's walking past on the street. Hey, this guy's threatening to kill himself. Please help me. He's scaring me. I'm worried about him. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with calling someone out and saying, you're freaking me out, dude. You're worrying me with what you're saying. And because they're worrying themselves with what they're saying. They shouldn't be saying that themselves, right? They know that what they're saying is wrong. They know that what they're saying, deep down, they probably don't feel. But they don't feel. Often people that take their lives feel like they're trapped and have no choice. All right? No one is there for them. They have no choice. This is the only option. Sometimes they think they're doing the world a favour as well, or their family a favour, or their kids a favour, or their parents a favour, or their partner a favour. I'm a waste of life. I'm a hopeless husband. I'm a hopeless child. You know what I mean? And it's time to go. So that these, negative thoughts start spinning around in someone's head until they work themselves up to the point where they just think they convince themselves, best thing, get rid of me and everything's better. I'm not happy anyway, so bugger it, you know, and off they go. So yeah, it's very important that you focus on that word delay, right? Whether it's you, whether it's someone else, talk, 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 talk. Do not, do not, do not. If someone ever says to you that like if someone threatens to take their life, and it's you that they're calling out to, or you that you feel they're trying to get attention off, or you know, blurting this thing out, like you're some some counsellor or some psychiatrist that knows what to do, or that you're going to say, okay, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but if someone cries out like that, you need to talk, all right? And you can't be this person that says, oh, don't say that crap around me, right? Because they've chosen someone, and it's you. I'm sorry, you don't get much choice in it. You can walk away and be a shitty friend or just a shitty person in general, and not be there for someone who needs you. It could be a total stranger that's all of a sudden threatening right in front of you, right? And you're the only one around. They've chosen you, or you just happen to be the only one around. Sorry, like it or lump it, you're in that position, and you've got to go through this. Be there for them. Don't belittle them. Don't say, oh, well, go ahead then. It's just attention seeking. Every time someone threatens it, they're all just full of it anyway. They're just attention seeking. A lot of them are, yes. You're right in saying that. But it's wrong. It's the wrong thing to say. It's a shitty thing to say. You should never call someone's bluff, right? Because you're putting them in a position where now you're saying, well, go on. Now, someone that's stubborn or has that type of personality will just go ahead and do it then, even if they weren't serious, just because someone's called their bluff. Because now you've just affirmed what they were thinking, that they shouldn't be around, right? You haven't fought for them and gone, rubbish, this is bullshit. You shouldn't die. You're a nice person. I like you. I'd be sad if you'd go. You're my friend. You've got so much potential. You're this, you're that. You know what I mean? Like, and this person can be like a thief and on drugs and all sorts of messed up ways, but you look for the good, you look for something positive, and you drill that into them. And even random things, like I've told people who were in dire financial situations, hey, what if you killed yourself tonight, but in an alternative universe, your future self goes on, and in the morning gets a phone call from some solicitor that's dealing with trying to track down a known relative of such and such person. We've been looking for 6 months now. They've been dead for 6 months. Do you know them? No, I don't know them. Well, I'm sorry. You seem to be the closest living relative that we have, and they've left a considerable amount of money here in their estate, and it looks like it's going to you. You know, or you say all of a sudden all your financial needs are solved, or let's say you're single, and that's thing, you're lonely, and that's part of what makes you do something, or think about doing something, right? Well, let's say in one reality you do it. In the alternative reality, you know, in that alternative universe, you don't do it, and the next day or the next night you meet this girl. You go shopping, and you meet a girl standing in the queue with you, or on the other side of the counter. She's a checkout chick. She's just special, and you connect, right? And this is the one, right? If you stuck in the other alternative universe where you topped yourself, you miss out on meeting the one, right? This is how important it is, guys, that we hang around for just one more day. We delay, right? We get the person to delay. We delay ourselves. We think of ways to move forward. We think of the future. Short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals are another thing. Plant a tree with someone that's thinking about ending their life, and say, that's our tree. And, you know, and whenever I'm sad, I'm going to come to this tree, and whenever you're sad, you're going to come to this tree. And we're going to even meet at this tree, and this tree is going to be here forever, and, you know, like, you know, make something special. Let's go to the beach together and, you know, just walk in the sand. let's go for a walk in the bush. You know what I mean? Let's go visit someone. Let's do something good for someone. That's another thing too, you know, doing good for other people is sometimes rewarding enough that people go, hang on, I'm actually useful in society. I don't have to end things. I just made that old lady really happy when I went round to their place with this person and gave them whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or mowed their lawn or whatever it was, you know, like doing something for someone, take them shopping or whatever. There's so many things that you can do for different people, and there's so many people that have different needs that are unique. It doesn't have to cost much or, you know, anything at all, even at times. Sometimes it's just a bit of time. Yeah. So please, guys, I know it's a morbid topic, but yeah, like I talked about in episode 3, and this is an extension of episode 3. It's not actually episode 4. That'll still be coming out in a couple of days, I think. So yeah, stick around for episode 4. This is just a little extra bit. This brings us this episode 3 up to, if I edit all this together, it'd be up around 2 hours. So anyway, please guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're looking for a secret word, extra. Right, just write extra in the comments below. I'll know that you've listened to this extra bit right to the end. So just put extra in the comments, and I love you heaps, guys. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode. Or you'll hear me anyway. I won't be seeing anyone. Cheers, guys. Bye.